let go of Mom. I pushed Mom's hand away. She could barely stay in the air. It's okay. No, it's not. Why didn't you give me a sign? You needed as much power as possible. Not at the cost of your life. I clenched and unclenched my fingers. I had so much energy that I felt it pulsating throughout my body. Mom looked frail and gaunt, like she's an easy target now. I won't be able to use my powers for a while. See? I can cover you. Don't worry about it. I extended my hand, almost touching the energy of the Mother of Life. She didn't react at all. Let's begin. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, the final showdown. Technically, I would have to put underneath this part that I took from Mom I used against the Mother. I extinguished round and destroyed her protective field. At first it seemed like nothing was happening, but the ball of energy dimmed for a moment before lighting up again. It's working. Keep going. I suppressed it, using all my accumulated strength and experience, and then... She opened her eyes, and then she opened her eyes. The Mother of Life directed her open hand at me. Yes, come at me. Huh? A blinding beam burst out of her palm and would have destroyed me if Mom hadn't rushed at me, dragging me down with her. We fell to the ground, rolled a few feet, and stopped looking at the sky in horror. What you want, you little bitch? I said I'm not willing to die. The beam hit a rock and destroyed almost half of it. You know, this is like something that I just love. And that's something that I need to put out here. I just think it's very hilarious how the enemy just suddenly shows up in a story, no matter if it's like a fictional story or like a show. They always bring the enemy into the story, and they are like this delusional person that think that the other person is at fault, not that they are being delusional. And they always say things like, just accept your defeat, you know? Just accept that it's over for you. When you literally just approached here, like I have lived my entire life. And technically, if you guys want my opinion, the Mother of Life needs to suck it. Because she wanted to create people, okay? I'm pretty sure she didn't plan on creating humans. That's fine, whatever. But humans existed still because of her. So that's her responsibility. So her, as the Mother of Life, she needs to take responsibility for all of them. Not to destroy them and create a better image. Because she doesn't like how her creations developed. The fact that they became a person of their own. She sees that as weakness and she's like, they need to be rid of. Every single person that you create, because of the fact that we all have emotions, you can't just create a robot as a person. Every single human being has emotions, and she sees someone showing emotion as a sign of weakness, as in she created, for example, war, and war's only emotion was supposed to be hatred. But considering the fact that he doesn't only feel hatred, he also feels something like worrying about someone, love. That's like against the wishes of the Mother of Life. So he's flawed in her eyes because she only gave him that specific emotion. What she doesn't see is that every single individual self-actualizes over time. They turn into their own person. They are not robots that can be controlled. So sooner or later, they will turn into who they want to be. It's out of her control because that's how life is. Life grows. Life lives, okay? Just like her creations. They grow as individuals. Their powers grow. And they themselves as people grow too. They turn into their own person. That's what self-actualizing is. And that's what she doesn't want. Then you shouldn't have created people in the first place. So, in my eyes, the Mother of Life needs to suck it. She needs to suck it up, except that these are the people that came to life after the image of her creations. And she needs to worry about them As in not worry about them, but she needs to protect them, not destroy them because she's like, yeah, they aren't good, like they have this imperfection. No, she needs to suck it up and she needs to accept that these are her creations now and she needs to protect them. She needs to make sure that they stay alive because they are alive because of her after all. Stop resisting. Accept the end. Didn't I just say it? Literally like those villains that just suddenly show up and they are all hypocrites. And they say, yeah, you just need to accept that this is your doom. Girl, shut up! The voice of the Mother of Life sounded even more lifeless and emotionless. She was with us, but at the same time somewhere far away. The mother stretched out her hand again. The next beam was aimed directly at the battlefield. Damn, stand still, cover your face, do a somersault? Yeah. I somersaulted, dodging the scorching beam of death. What would covering my face do me? I don't want to look at it. We had two options to accept reality. We're not covering our eyes. The places it came into contact with were black and charred, and those immortals who could have escaped in time were evaporated. Not even their bones were left behind. The immortals scattered in different directions. It's time to destroy everything and start over. Oh, these little bitches. War and Hunger stopped their battle. Hunger turned his back to his brother, seeing how the mother destroyed the immortals. I just love Hunger. I'm sorry, y'all. I think I can see why people want me reacting to this man's rude. Are we seeing how awesome this man is? He is not having her bullshit. We love Hunger. He's like, you did not have to be like this. Then he froze, feeling a sword pressing into his back. War, why are you like this? We know you're in there, War. You've lost. It was an unfair fight. War didn't move for a while and lowered his sword. I fought at half strength and still won. But I don't like what's happening now. Oh, really? War looked around at the destruction left by the mother. Was she disappointed in us if we oppose her? She's always disappointed. She's a bitch. This is what I mean with self-actualizing. In a certain sense, what War is feeling right now, which is something that I can't really blame him for the Vampire Diaries fans, War is sired to the Mother of Life because she brought him to life. So he kind of feels that he owes her. So opposing her would mean going against his nature in a certain sense. And he can't do that. But he's his own person and his own personality will come through. Like I said, self-actualizing. They all self-actualized. She can't take that away. That's part of life. So she, of course, she will be disappointed. But what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? She already plans on killing the entire universe. What good will it do living in a lie? Because he's literally trying to cover the fact that he feels other emotions than that awful rage that his lovely mother cursed him with. Like, as soon as she finds it out, she won't hesitate to kill him too. So, like, it will be just a matter of time until War is evaporated too. Just along the other people that she sees as weak. So, I don't know that her love was important to you. He cares. She made us this way. See? Hunger was silent for a moment and answered. Cifa and Sephamalum tricked her and locked her up. And she treats them the same way. Oh, War. They had a choice. Hunger drew his sword. We have one too. I love Hunger. War nodded. He made a choice. He was on our side. Oh, thanks to War, a few more immortals will survive. Let's go. Death took in a deep breath, full of pride and reverence for the mother. Malbonte decided to take advantage of his momentary confusion and closed his eyes, turning to the darkness that he despised. Your time has come. You've been waiting for this, right? The voice inside him readily answered. Ugh. Oof. Cifa Malum. You can evaporate his sorry ass, so he can leave my child be. Yes. Malbonte's body contorted, his bones cracked, barely able to bear it. He arced backward, unnaturally, then forward. His shoulders sank and his shoulder blades protruded. tightening the skin until it cracked. The tattoo on his back glowed brighter than before, attracting the horseman's attention. "It's too late." Death quickly approached Malbonte and raised his sword over his head. Ah! But Malbonte intercepted his hand, stopping it a few inches away from his neck. "Oh, thank you." "It's never too late." He pushed Death away. Bye-bye, Death. Malbonte's movements, driven by the power of the god, became exponentially faster. I was scared. Oh, God. Now, just to put this thought in there, is this still Malbonte, or is this completely Cifa Malum having taken charge over this man? He was on equal footing with the horseman now, and the enemy's blows weren't a surprise to him. He parried and attacked, dodged and defended. Only the Mother of Life could kill Death. But what if the god born before the horseman could kill him as well? What if Cifa Malum's power was capable of that? At least that's what Malbonte was counting on. He was like a shadow. No, he became one. Darkness enveloped his body, hiding him from view while he moved. It became clear from Death's face. He recognized that energy, his older brother's energy. Ooh-hoo! Now the damage was more severe. The horseman regenerated less quickly. His gaze became more focused, his movements more vigilant. Oh my gosh, are we gonna see him die? Are we gonna see him die? He realized that Malbonte's chances of victory had increased 100-fold. Yes! Oh God, I love it. Meanwhile, the Mother of Life descended. Her feet touched the rumbling ground. Her gaze remained lost and indifferent. She continued to prepare the world for its destruction. Bitch! It's time for you to give up! It's time for you to accept that you can do shit! Y'all, there's like the saying that I also need to put out there. There comes a time where even the student defeats the master. Now, we're bringing it to this story right here. Mother of Life, you need to accept that your children now have become more powerful than you and they are capable to take you out. Watch out. Christopher's warning helped several immortals dodge the mother's next beam in time. This is our chance. Surround her! Oh my god. Don't get too close. Vincenzo and Astaroth joined forces. That was the first time I ever saw that. Astaroth released balls of seething energy, and Vincenzo detonated them, causing powerful explosions. However, the mother barely noticed the flashes. There wasn't a single bruise left on her body, let alone actual wounds. Her colossal figure loomed over us, small and weak in the background, frighteningly calm and indifferent to our pain. War and hunger descended towards us. What's going on? We will help you. I love hunger. Any ideas? War! Let's go! Resist until you die. I'm sorry, that was hilarious. Great plan. Astaroth being my spirit animal again. We have several horsemen on our side. We're not giving up. There must be another way. The mother destroyed everything around her. It became increasingly difficult to dodge her attacks. I watched as Dino, Lucifer, Astaroth, Mimi, and the rest of the Resistance members tirelessly fought back, but every attack was met with crushing force from the goddess. No matter how resourceful, strong, and furious they were still significantly weaker when faced with the power of the one who created them. Warwick carefully examined the Mother of Life. Then he turned to his brother. We must do this. Hunger nodded. Huh? Do what? Oh! So sorry. Oh my god, we're attacking her. Oh, let's go. Oh, I love them. I love my boys. I love my boys. At full force. At full force. Oh my gosh. Okay. In one push and with lightning speed, they found themselves near her. You're repeating the fate of your older brothers, and you will be punished. Mother of Life, the only thing that will happen to your sorry ass is you being locked away for good this time. We will literally even destroy that damn book of life so no one will even think about being capable to bring your sorry ass back onto the world of the living. Like you should accept your defeat. It felt like an endless attempt to escape, always on the verge of death. Malbonte looked at what was happening and missed. That's a The blow hit him in the shoulder and a sharp pain washed over his whole body. Malbonte fell to the ground. No! Oh my god! Y'all, I don't want him to die. Please don't die! Oh my god! Death approached him, stood on his chest with his boot, and pressed down at letting him get up. He leaned a little lower with a sinister grin, of course, like, this is like the bad side of narcissistic bitches.
Before I kill you, do you want to know my secret?
Malbonte laughed, coughing up black blood. Speak. Speak to me. Death bent even lower, pressing harder on his chest.
My daughter lives in your world.
Huh? He has a daughter? And who is his daughter?
And she will die with you.
Me! Malbonte. I just love the story. They are literally saying my thoughts.
Daughter.
Malbonte grabbed his boot, trying to push him away, but Death only curled his lips in a grin. He touched Malbonte's neck with the tip of the blade.
Now that I've said it, my burden has been lifted.
Oh, y'all, shut up! Stop! Death has a daughter. That also goes against what the Mother of Life wants. She wanted motionless soldiers, and they were only given one specific emotion. I'm not really sure what Death's emotion is. I would just think that his emotions were supposed to be him being completely cold, emotionless, like Death. But considering the fact that he has a daughter means that he actually was taken by human emotions. Just like Plague back in the day when she was like, please don't kill her. And she was killed by the Mother of Life because of that. He gave in to desires, an emotion that he wasn't supposed to have, and he conceived. Yahoo! I love this. Oh, let's go.
Your world really makes us sensitive.
Like I said, yo, so let's go. Me, Malbonte. Malbonte didn't have to be like that. Like, I literally just thought that.
Oh, great to get into bed with you. What kind of crazy woman was this?
Oh god, if he says your mother, I'm gonna die. Malbonte wanted to provoke Death to probe his weak point, but Death remained indifferent to any attacks. Looking into the cold eyes of the horseman, Malbonte saw the story from a distant past. What? What is going on? Once upon a time, the Valley of Death was called the Valley of Light. It was one of the first places Cifa created in heaven. Even before the first angels appeared there, the valley was full of life. Its flora and fauna resembled paradise. It was paradise that became the blueprint for the creator when working on the valley. Thanks to this and the invariably sunny weather, the place received its original name. Night never fell upon the Valley of Light. Its first settlers were the three original angels, Lucifer, his sister Lucina, and his beloved Cora. For a long time, the life of the original angels in the valley was truly heavenly, until one day they were visited by the horseman of death. Alright. Okay. As soon as he set foot on the ground, all the numerous animals of the valley fell dead, and the plants wilted and turned black. Even the sun set on the valley, never to rise above this place again. With his arrival came non-existence, and thus the finitude of life. Oh my god. Yeah, he brought death and destruction. The angels realized it when Lucifer died at the hands of Cifa Malum. This was the first death made possible by the coming of the horseman. At the side of his death, in the very center of the valley, a portal appeared connecting the world of immortals and non-existence. The portal needed protection, so Death demanded that Cora build a temple. From then on, it was called the Temple of Death's Mercy. But Death didn't stop there. He demanded a sacrifice from Cora. He needed a descendant. Cora had to give birth to his daughter, and they gave her a name, Morta. So technically, this was sexual abuse. Like, he forced Cora into having a child with him because he said he needed a descendant. Morta became the protector of the portal to non-existence. as well as the guide to immortal souls, forever connected to the temple in which she settled. Cora couldn't survive the horror that weighed heavily upon her shoulders. In the end, succumbing to despair, she decided to follow Lucifer, as she hung herself. Cora hanged herself on her once beloved tree, the willow, now standing dry and dead. But suicide wasn't yet possible. For a very long time, Cora dangled from the noose in agony until death, taking pity, pierced her heart with his sword. And so the immortals were given the opportunity to take their own lives if they sincerely wanted to. Oh, he was the one that actually said that it's okay. If you truly want to die, as in, if you can't take the misery anymore, you're capable to kill yourself if you truly want to. Oh gosh, like imagine that you want to die, like you feel the death. You feel that you should be dead with all the pain that you're going through right now, physically, yet you still can't die. Oh god. The place where Cora committed suicide was named the Black Willow. To this day, a shadow dangles in the wind, deep in the valley which even Morta, daughter of death, avoids. Malbonte blinked several times, brushing away the vision. The horseman was still looming over him with the same frozen grin.
Do you know why I told you? Death must inspire fear and must remain incomprehensible, because if it ceases to be a mystery, I will lose that which I feed on, fear, and therefore lose my strength. For people to fear death, they must be ignorant of it. But you're not afraid of death.
The horseman looked into Malbonte's eyes. You can thank your nice little older brother for that. This man snapped his spine. He psychologically and physically tormented this man for millennia, to the extent where this man does not fear to die anymore. Like, you can torture this man, he does not care. The horseman looked into Malbonte's eyes, one at a time, as if diligently searching for even a hint of alarm. But there had been no fear for a long time in Malbonte's black, tormented heart. Forget it! That didn't know how zealously Cifa Malum knocked out everything that could be called weakness from that boy's soul. I love the story, y'all. You can still tell me in the comments below if you actually want me to say every single thought that comes into my head, because I feel like in stories like these, it's not necessary. They are saying it. Death didn't know how many times Maul died there in the embrace of darkness. Therefore, no matter how long he peered into the half-breed's eyes, he couldn't find the fear of death in them. After all, he had already died so many times. Malbonte didn't have any fear of the horseman, which would have strengthened death. He was more likely to lose to war, but not to death. However, death was powerful, and was going to fulfill his duty to the mother. He always fulfilled it. The horseman raised a sword. Malbonte didn't flinch. He knew it was pointless. No! But suddenly the mother's cry was heard. War had managed to wound her! We love them! We love my children! Risking getting hit by her beams, he struck her body many times with the sword, but it didn't cause any damage until he mangled her arm in desperation. Blood appeared, shimmering with all colors. It slowly flowed down her shoulder. Surprise, bitch. Bet you thought you'd seen it less than me.
The sword. My sword wounded her.
Now get off my chest, bitch. That turned to the mother, and a glimpse of emotion slipped through his eyes for the first time. It was fear! Malbonte recognized it immediately. Having taken many lives, he recognized that emotion no less than the horseman. Malbonte didn't hesitate. Screaming out for the first time for the pain piercing his back, he unleashed the full power of Cifa Malum. It accumulated in his fist, almost igniting his flesh with its energy. Malbonte plunged his fist into Death's stomach, tearing right through his body.
Fear is only visible to those who are capable of experiencing it. You died because you were afraid, not of death, but of life.
Malbonte pulled out his hand. Death fell to his knees before him, and in a matter of seconds he dissipated. disappearing forever from all worlds. The skeletons collapsed, turning into dust. Malbonte picked up the horseman's sword and headed toward the mother, not wasting even a second. Yeah, because he was capable to kill him. He was capable to find Death's weak spot. And that's why he was capable to kill him. Damn, Malbonte. Malbonte killed the most powerful horseman, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for my man. The Mother of Life couldn't stop the process of destruction. Part of her consciousness freed itself, returning to primordial state of everything and nothing, and that part was preparing the world for extinction, and the body continued to reluctantly and even clumsily defend itself, like a giant trying to drive away a fly. A small, insignificant creature barely posing a threat buzzed in her ear and annoyed her, but still catching something that was so small with a huge hand turned out not to be so easy. War flew over to her other side, and with cold-blooded, calculated precision cut off her other arm. The Mother of Life roared more from anger than pain. Ha ha ha. Hunger's face was cruel and focused. Oh, I love my boys. I love my boys. He knew what he needed to do and didn't pay attention to the obstacles. I flew away, no longer afraid of killing myself from excessive use of power. I needed to protect myself from the mother's outbursts of rage. The beam shot out chaotically from her, spreading so far that they probably reached other large islands. Will there be anything left alive? There was no time to think about it. Hunger plunged the sword into the mother's shoulder, but it rang as it hit her impenetrable armor. He turned to us and shouted,
"No other sword will work."
Asteroid saved a soldier who almost fell under a beam.
"That can't be the only sword that works."
"No, Kira! Kira has Plague's sword. She could have used that sword." Dino thought hard and then raised his head with a kind of jubilant expression. He had a guess.
"Try striking her somewhere else."
The mother waved her giant hand, dismissing Hunger, but he flew under her arm and disappeared behind her back. And then there was a muffled crunch, and the mother roared again, dropping to one knee.
"A leg. Hunger can't hurt her legs."
The mother turned around sharply, grabbed the horseman, and squeezed him in her fist. "No, he can't die!" All she had to do was squeeze her fingers and she would crush him. I remembered all those times when I irritably smacked the table or my cheek, squashing an annoying mosquito. Cifa let her show more restraint than me. The mother raised her hand, bringing Hunger closer to her eyes. The horseman tried to break free, but she gripped him tightly. She opened her mouth and her booming, guttural voice filled the entire space.
"Fla."
"See?" Her fingers trembled about to finish what she had planned, but the sound of metal screeching made her eyes quickly dart to the side. "Kira!" "Kira!" What a queen! I did say, because Hunger just said it. And they all tried attacking her, but it literally left nothing. As soon as War and Hunger tried attacking her with their swords, they were capable to actually injure her. So the only people that are capable to kill her right now would be Hunger, War, Kira, and Malbonte. Malbonte has the sword. He can weave it. Kira was panting and her hair was disheveled from the rapid flight. She gripped the sword tightly but tiredly, in her hands dragging it behind her. "Woohoo!" Gerald walked next to her. Gerald. The mother recognized Plague's sword, and her inhuman pupils watched the weapon of her deceased daughter with some kind of voracious rapture. "Yeah, mother. Yes, mother." Hunger took advantage of the pause, pressed his hands to the mother's fingers, and with all his strength sent a charge into them, loosening her grip. It didn't turn out to be much, but it was enough for him to break free and immediately dive. "Oh, thank you." The mother bent down, trying to catch him, but Hunger was faster. "Bye-bye, bitch." "Bye-bye, bitch." A swing and a cut. The horseman twisted the sword in her leg and, driving it deeper, said,
"You have made my existence unbearable."
That you actually didn't allow this man to have anyone in his life. He was only capable to drain someone's energy. The only person that he talked to in millennia was us, because we were the only ones that weren't weakened by this man. So, let's go, bitch. And then he pulled the weapon to the side, cutting her kneecap. With a sharp swing, he lowered the sword, shaking off the drops of blood from the blade, and reached for a cigarette he had found somewhere. You know what? Like, hunger is just a king. This man is literally trying to kill the mother of life. No one is capable to do something. He's the only one, along with his brother and 2 others, that can kill her. And the only thing this man is doing, let me just take my cigarette real quick. Hunger. I love hunger. At this point, I would have to say Hunger is my second favorite character in the story. Like, first Malbonte, then Hunger, then Astaroth, then Lucifer, then War, and then Dino. I have to put Dino there because Dino is such a cutie pie. It takes so much time and effort for this man to finally show his dark side. And that's even very rare. Like, this man is just a cutie pie. He's like the best family member you could have. Like, family, friend, like the person that you could go to with all your problems. He will never let you down. He will always be there for you, watching over you. But I feel like I'm at the point where I have to admit that I just find the darkness way more attractive. And not like really darkness, like, let's not get carried away. I just like a dominant man. I think I've said it so many times, especially in A Song of a Crimson Nile. I said it so many times what my preferences are. I just can't. Like the darkness, like the dominance, the arrogance, the straightforwardness, the headstrong mentality, the impulsiveness. That's like the things that pull me in a man. I'm sorry. And like Dino isn't any of that, so I would have to put him on the last spot. Malbonte pushed off the ground, flying into the air with his sword at the ready. He pointed it forward and then quickly dove at the mother. It pierced the mother's stomach, causing her to fall onto her back. The ground shook from the impact and became covered in cracks. Death. Yes, bitch. The mother understood whose sword was piercing her flesh. Did she also understand that it wasn't the horseman who did that? Or did it seem to her that every blow was struck by her son? History repeated itself. One day her children slammed the doors in her face. Then she created new ones and placed in their hands the only weapons that could harm her body. She filled her swords with her energy to make her children more powerful, but they turned them against her. The mother was ready to release energy again, ready to destroy everything completely. I needed to find strength.
Simona.
I turned around and caught a stone, then a second one.
Faster.
Portal stone. I'm coming with you. Mom was breathing heavily and didn't look up at me, pressing her hand to her stomach. I silently grinned and opened a breach in space. Well, where does she want to go? Silva Island. I thought about that island when I walked into the portal. I thought about the nature there, the tall trees reaching so high into the sky that they tickled the clouds with their foliage. I thought about how much energy I could draw from that place. I'll take just a little. I mean, if we actually say we need to go somewhere else in order to draw energy, I don't think that taking a little bit is gonna help. Like, I'm just imagining this choice as, you are insanely thirsty and you think that a few drops of water are gonna quench your thirst, No. I'll take everything down to the last drop. Well, it would make us feel insanely hydrated, but if we take everything there is, as in the entire energy of this place, up to the roots, I don't think that this place is gonna be something. Like, we're gonna drain everything from that place and then suddenly it's gonna be a wasteland. Like, what the hell is gonna be growing there anymore? Like, if we take everything, every single ounce of energy this place possesses, to the roots, then there isn't anything to grow from anymore. Like, that place will be dead. And we don't want another ghost city. We have one already in real life. Take exactly as much as you need. Mom watched what I was going to do with intense curiosity, but I was glad she was there. For some reason, I didn't want to be alone. I pressed my hand to the ground and closed my eyes. My tendrils immediately stretched to the sides, drawing on the grass, the trees, and the flowers. The energy poured towards me in a large stream. A smile involuntarily touched my lips. It felt so nice to absorb that. I took a little more and then stood up, looking around. Some of the trees shriveled up, but nature would be able to recover. I took out the second stone. Let's go. We were back on the battlefield. Oh, let's go. We were only gone for a few minutes, but there were 3 times fewer living immortals on our return. Everything around us was burning in white flames. The Mother of Life was on her knees, pressing her hand to her stomach. Blood gushed between her fingers. I erected the strongest and largest dome that I was capable of and shouted, "Ready!"
The last sword. Hurry. We'll cover you.
War and hunger flew around the mother, the only ones who could fly so close to her. Fear has no power over me. Let's go, Kira. Kira ran to the mother.
Help her.
Gerald picked Kira up in his arms to help carry the weight of the sword, even if he couldn't lift it himself. Fear has no power over me. Keep on telling yourself that until you believe it, girl. There is a saying, fake it till you make it. Lucifer, Dino, Astaroth, and his brother, and Malbonte also distracted the mother. They directed all their forces at her. Then the other survivors joined. They knew they couldn't hurt the mother, but they couldn't let her notice Kira rushing towards her. Nimi attentively watched the mother to warn me at the right moment and protected me if she fired a beam at me. At that moment, I was only watching Kira, concentrating on protecting her. Yeah, like I said, fake it till you make it. Fear has no power over me. Fear has no power over me. Fear has no power over me. Kira pushed off of Gerald and soared into the air, aiming for the mother's heart. And then... Oh, damn! Where did she get those fangs? You have no power over me. She plunged the sword into her chest. Ooh! The mother let out a deafening scream. Her body exploded in a blinding flash like the birth of a supernova. Let's go! Or its death. I held the dome for as long as my strength allowed, and I had just enough strength to survive the worst. The light gradually dimmed until our eyes saw something unimaginable. What am I seeing? What is going on, y'all? Oh my god! What? Is that Cifa Malum? Was that Cifa Malum? Don't lie to me, I know that son of a bitch! The Mother of Life was defeated, but her body didn't dissipate like the horsemen's did. It began to transform and change. There was a scream that came from everywhere in Nor. It was the cry of the universe that had lost its human form, and in its place, a spinning sphere appeared, a singularity ready to explode at any moment. All that was left of the swords were burned hills. They had been destroyed along with the mother's body. Those who survived the uncontrollable energy that crashed down on us slowly got up, but no one looked at the sphere remaining from the Mother of Life. Everyone looked at the sky and how space was being torn apart. I fell to my knees, realizing with horror whose figure was approaching us. Now the most powerful being in the universe is Cifa Malum, y'all. Damn! Whose grin pierced to the bone, twisted our stomachs and pulled at our sides. Oh no. Cifa Malum. The one who's worse than the Mother of Life. The one I was unconsciously waiting for. The one I certainly wasn't expecting. To be quite honest, I don't think he's worse than the Mother of Life, but he's like the next worse in line. So, to be quite honest, I wasn't expecting him. I wasn't expecting this man to show up, so we hadn't yet fully realized that the mother was defeated and could only watch silently as the liberated Cifa Malum descended towards us from the tear in space. The horsemen returned to their original human forms. They looked at their older brother with interest and some disgust. Same, sir, same. Same, boys, same. Like they were the best out of all 4. So it's nice that they stayed alive. Sephamalum's feet touched the ground. His body dissipated for a moment, but then returned to its original form. With each moment, he seemed to lose his remaining shreds of power. He spent so long in captivity, gave so much to the fight against death and the centuries-long fight against his own annihilation that he had almost no strength left, and yet he remained a god. One of the mother's first creations, the story of the brothers flashed before my eyes. The fall of Cifa Malum, his oblivion, his torment. He conveyed his story to those present. He wanted them to understand who was in front of them and what hell awaited them. And then he spoke, and no one dared to interrupt him.
The gods know how to wait, and I waited for such a long time. I've been waiting for this moment since Maul appeared in my dungeon.
And he's still alive.
You fought so hard for my release.
Sir, he sure as hell wasn't fighting for your sorry ass. He bowed slightly with a sardonic smile. His silhouette lost its shape but quickly returned to its original state.
I know how to be grateful. After all, I could only be freed after the mother's body died.
Malbonte stepped forward, bloodthirsty, casting a venomous gaze at the smoky figure of the god of darkness. Anything but this sorry son of a bitch. Me. He wanted to see everyone but this son of a bitch. Like, y'all, who was shocked when you saw that scene? Cifa Malum mockingly extended his hand to him. Hands off my boy!
My boy, you did everything that was necessary. Just like we agreed, right? For your service, I will reward you.
What the fuck was that fucking deal? I pressed my hand to my chest where my heart was beating heavily. I felt physically ill. I staggered but found my balance looking exhaustedly at Malbonte. Oh, I think now I get why she's so shocked. Technically, what she just found out was that Malbonte only agreed to help destroying the Mother of Life because that was the only thing that Cifa Malum agreed to. He was like, I'm willing to lend you my power, and you can use it against the Horsemen and against the Mother of Life if necessary, but you will only get it if you actually kill her. As in, this man was only capable to get out of his prison in non-existence if the Mother of Life's body disappeared. As in, as soon as the body of her dies. So, Malbonte only got the strength from Cifa Malum because Cifa Malum was like, if you kill her, I will be free. So that's what she's so shocked about. Not the tears, girl. He looked back at me. There was no apology, no sympathy, no shame in his eyes. An emotionless stone that crushed all the sprouts of feelings that I worked so hard to grow inside him. Why? Girl, what are you so worried about right now? I mean, in a certain sense, I can technically understand what this feels like for her. Not how he was capable to do it and on what cost, but it's more like the realization of what's happening right now in this precise moment. Because of the fact that Cifa is dead, and the Mother of Life is destroyed now too. The ruler of the universe now is Cifa Malum. So I get why she's like, how could you do this to me? But now, coming back to Malbonte, this man is right now not himself. He took so much energy. I was talking about this. If he takes too much energy from Cifa Malum, the darkness will submit his human emotions. The darkness will overpower his humanity. And that's what's happening right now. No shame, no apology, no nothing. No, nothing. Because the darkness took over him. He's not himself right now. The darkness inside of him is more powerful than his human emotions, as in his angel side. I wanted to scream at him. Why did you do this to me? To all of us. But he warned me. He told me I'd hate him. That's what his detached gaze was about. He knew it would end like this.
What have you done?
Arrogant's cry, furious and desperate, reflected not only his feelings but also those of everyone else. You brat. I would just love that the story also tells me that I'm right or not. Hunger leaned down to strike a match off the ground. Soaked in blood, it didn't catch fire. Lucifer snapped his fingers and lit the horseman's cigarette. Hunger lit his damn cigarette. There was something hopeless about it. There was no strength left, not even for shock. The sphere left behind by the Mother of Life threateningly pulsated and beaconed. Sephamalum smiled, looking at it. He reached his hand toward it, dissipating the haze, and almost disappeared into the singularity. At first it seemed that the sphere would absorb him, but then I realized he was the one absorbing it instead. The more energy he took, the clearer his image became. I straightened up, realizing he knew this would happen. He knew that after the mother's body was destroyed, instead of her there would be a cluster of immense energy that couldn't stay in one place for long. The energy from the sphere continued to flow into him. He was getting stronger. He consumed life. Well, girl, you are someone that is capable to absorb power as well. Why don't you try to absorb it? He was getting stronger. He consumed life. He regained his lost power. Oh my god, are we seeing this? Monsters born of darkness poured out of the breach from Cifa Malum's dungeon. They covered the already black sky with their ashen bodies. Portals opened on all sides. We were surrounded by Cifa Malum's minions, and those who for many years helped implement the plan of his release. Torrendo! Mom spat at Torrendo's feet. Bastards. Torrendo bent down, took out a handkerchief, and lazily wiped the spit off his shoe.
You're behaving like a wild servant.
Israel, oh god.
They are servants, they did all the work for us.
Israel was once Satan and was considered the cruelest of them all. And now he was free. Malbonte took an impetuous step towards Sephamalum, but staggered and fell to his knees. He was too weak. We were all weak, exhausted. We could no longer fight. But now, not to protect Malbonte, okay? Not to protect this man. But they all wanted to get rid of the Mother of Life. The Mother of Life was willing to kill everything and everyone on the planet. What difference would it have made if he would have said, if we kill the Mother of Life, then Sephamalum will become the new god? What difference would that have made? What difference would that have made? They were still willing to kill her. They were still willing to murder her because she was willing to destroy the entire universe and create new people in her image. So what difference would it have made if he would have said that he would be released and he would become the new god and the new ruler? What difference would that have made? Would they have stopped? Would they have let the mother destroy everything? Sephamalum kept his hand on the sphere, continuing to grow stronger. Like, this bitch is stupid. I literally just said you can also absorb things. Why don't you try to absorb her energy?
Oh my god. Poor boy, you wanted to kill me, I know. But did you really think that after defeating the mother, you would still have any strength left for me?
What?
Israel, take Malbonte with you. Oh, hell no! He could be dangerous and I don't need him anymore. Oh, hell no! With great pleasure.
Hands off my man! Israel walked towards him, demonstratively slow and lazy to the point of vulgarity, making it painfully clear how weak a rival Malbonte appeared.
Get lost.
Malbonte fired a ball of dark energy at him, but Israel easily deflected it.
Take care of the others.
No. Dino attacked Torrendo. Astaroth saved Dino from the enemy's swift attack, and now they were both advancing on him. Several monsters that Sephamalum summoned came down. Mimi, Mammon, and Eliza took care of them. Hunger only dodged. It seemed that without his sword he lost most of his strength. War tried to use his physical strength, and the massacre began again, but that time the forces were even more unequal. One of Sephamalum's pawns rushed at me. I didn't notice him right away and let out a loud, startled gasp. What should I do? Awkwardly loud. Put up a shield? I put up a shield, but he wasn't going to attack me with energy. After headbutting me in the nose, he rammed into me and knocked me to the ground. Blood poured into my mouth. What kind of bullshit is this? Mom and Aragon fought off the attacks and ran towards Sephamalum. It was suicide, but they didn't know what else to do. That monster couldn't be allowed to regain dominance over the world. I closed my eyes nervously, wiping the blood pouring from them at my nose. I surrounded them with a protective field, and then I felt a jolt, heard a thud, and opened my eyes. Mom and Aragon lay on the ground, thrown back by the force of the energy ball. I'll try to attack using energy. Mom released a ball of energy into the singularity, but it absorbed it, rippling with intense distortion. It reacts to our powers. The sphere itself was concentration of incredibly strong compressed energy. It needs to be blown up. Azeroth dodged Rendo's attack and shot at the singularity. Lucifer and Vinchester then rained streams of fire down on it. Cifa Malum only laughed. The sound made my skin crawl, and I wanted to cover my ears. No one could approach the sphere. They were all thrown back. I watched the way it absorbed others' powers and gave them to Sephamalum. Mesmerized by its pulsation, I had a strong sense that it was alive. A part of the mother still languished in that sphere. If I can take the energy from there as Cifa Malum does, I can fight back. Like this little bitch waited. She waited until this man is almost undefeatable until she actually came to that damn conclusion. I hate this woman. I'll try. I stepped towards the sphere and felt the pressure of the magnetic field, as if I wanted to repel me. But I blocked it and took another step. I had to strengthen my defense with each movement so the sphere wouldn't throw me back like it did the others. Cifa Malum watched me with interest, but also mockery, sure that no matter what I was planning, it wouldn't succeed. You can handle it. I wanted to slam the door leading into my consciousness in front of him, and yet I knew that his voice gave me strength. A little longer and Cifa Malum will have taken enough to destroy us and remain the only god in our world. A little longer, and I was going to stop him. I touched the sphere. My hand burned, but I didn't take it away. I closed my eyes and sank my tendrils into it. I needed to draw energy, but instead something grabbed my tendrils and pulled me towards itself, deep into the singularity. Huh? I tried to break free, but it sucked me in, dragging me into another dimension. It took me inside. Nice one. It was the place where the last sparks of the mother's of life's consciousness lived before finally dying out, returning her to her original state. Oh my god. Everything and nothing. It was the mother of life. She was the planets and constellations, matter and antimatter. I was flying through space, fast and slow at the same time. No sounds, no oxygen, no gravity. Only me and the entire world, in silence in motion, where there was no beginning and no end. Oh my god, what is going on? I flew through the cluster, stretching my hands out in front of me in an attempt to grab and hold on to something. Cosmic dust, gases, heat from binary stars glowed dimly somewhere in the distance. Silence, ringing silence, loneliness. In comparison to me, everything was immense, so fundamental and significant. Was this not what the gods were? Those who don't speak, who don't feel anything, who simply exist. Against this black drop, our world seemed like a meaningless flicker. And here was the truth, the fundamental truth, the meaning. Maybe I was dead. Maybe this is what the end of everything looked like. The cosmos pulled me further and further. There she is. I was thinking something, y'all, while we were sucked in there. Cifa Malum is absorbing the energy slowly, you know? But considering the fact that we were pulled into this and we actually don't have any power but the capability of absorbing everything around us, maybe when we were sucked in there, we absorbed every single last sparks of the mother of life all at once. Maybe that makes us become the mother of life? I don't know. The fact that we just replaced the mother of life's picture here, maybe we became the mother of life now. Where am I? What am I? Struggle, fight, live. I was thrown out of the sphere. I reached out to it and it responded, reaching back. Everything was a blur, as if the dream was continuing and I couldn't snap out of it. Fight. Live. Cifa Malum was no longer being powered by this energy. His face twisted into a grimace of horror and rage. Try me, bitch! He didn't understand what was happening. I didn't either. None of us did. But it was funny to me. And I laughed. And then the sphere exploded, engulfing us in agonizing chaos and pain. Filled with unprecedented power, I erected a dome protecting all members of the Order. Some of Sephamalum's monsters burned to ashes. I saw their black wings freeze in the sky, their bodies crumbling in fury chaos. There was nothing left of them, not even ashes. Cifa filled the space with a feral scream. Something had happened to him. His strength was gone, even what he had before. The explosion weakened him so much that he nearly faded away.
No! Here.
Azrael opened a portal, and his minions helped the god of darkness escape. I hoped he would die, but I knew that Sephamalum wouldn't leave us so easily, not after everything that happened. I started to come to my senses. I realized my ears were ringing and I was on all fours. I looked around. The explosion was so powerful that it destroyed half of the island. The shockwave swept away everything it touched. Houses, animals, plants, everything fell under the violence of that storm. Surely only ruins were left of the academy and nearby cities. Not many immortals survived at the epicenter, but I hoped there might be many other survivors. You had losses, but not critical ones. Oh, let's go. However, the consequences of the explosion were catastrophic. The world of immortals was divided into before and after in an instant. It was as if the world plunged into scorching darkness, and we should have burned in its embrace, but somehow we survived and remained amidst the ruins, where there was no longer a place for life. Some members of the Order had been cast into the sky. I tried to call out to someone, but my voice failed me. Only one vague wheeze escaped, and only one thought was left in my head. We're alive. Cifa Malum must die. No, we're alive. We managed to survive. A chirping, sharp sound was heard in the sky. I raised my head involuntarily, counting down the seconds, as if I thought my heart would stop at any moment, unable to bear it. The sky was torn like a stretched rag. Bound by the apocalypse, portals opened one after another, alien and strange, the kind that could not be closed easily. Monsters poured out of some of them, while others sucked everything in like black holes. I felt myself drawn to one of them. No. I tried to cling to something. I tried to hold on, to fly away, but I was inexorably pulled into one of the portals. The explosion swept away not only the buildings, but also my strength, and I was left empty and helpless. And then I heard a voice.
Luna.
Malbonte. We reached out to each other. I only saw his fingers and wanted nothing more than to feel his touch. And then... and then we were gone. Darkness. Death Valley! Oh my god.
We're in deep shit.
Dang. Hunger sat on the ground, resting his elbows on his knees. He struck a match and lit a cigarette. War was stretching his muscles, preparing for the hordes of monsters scurrying around the valley to attack us.
Where did these creatures come from? From other portals, probably.
Their swords had been destroyed. They had lost half their strength, and they were stuck in Death Valley.
We should have killed them. Who? The members of the Order. This world. Now it looks like us. Mother decided to create problems. Cifa Malum. Quiet, shut up.
Ooh, Hunger! Oh, Hunger. Like I said, he's my second favorite. A monster snuck up on them, quietly pressing his mouth to the ground. Oh my god! Hunger slowly rose.
Let's leave.
Without waiting for an answer, the horseman quickly soared into the air. The creature followed behind. And War followed the creature. The creature chased after me relentlessly, then suddenly let out a heart-rending scream and rushed into the darkness. Something had scared it, but what could scare such a monster? Something even scarier? They hid in the thicket of black trees and lay low. In the silence of the valley, quiet singing could be heard. It was a female voice, but it sounded distant, as if from beyond the grave. The singing was getting closer. A branch snapped behind the tree very close. The woman's singing stopped. Hunger clenched his jaw, then grinned with a touch of fleeting hysteria. War silently mouthed the words.
Morta, thought of death.
Hunger nodded. The branch crunched again. Morta had found them. Silva Island. Fancio saved Dino from an unknown portal and transferred him to the island. A long time ago he had built a hut there in case he wanted to hide from the eyes of others. A hut far from the inhabitants of the islands, from civilization and the world of heaven. Dino stood on the mountain and watched the smoke billowing in the distance. The world was on fire and there seemed to be no end to it.
I know you want to help them, but you need to regain your strength first. I want to hide. This is the best option right now.
Dino sniffed, then abruptly turned around, watching as the treetops went up in flames. A man came out from behind the hut. Dark flames erupted from his palm. Ah, minion. Fancio clenched his staff.
They scattered around the world so quickly. This is a real war, father. Cifa Malum doesn't intend to wait.
Cifa Malum's minion attacked first. Dino repelled the attack and rushed towards him. Yes, he was still weak, but he remained a fighter, and he didn't intend to give up. That's why I love Dino. Hell, main city. Mimi woke up with a jolt. She found herself tied up in a carriage. One of Sephamalum's minions was taking her somewhere with other surviving immortals. Only Mimi woke up. Perhaps the others were dead. She didn't want to find out.
Are you awake?
Where are you taking us?
We're to the gallows. Let others see what happens to those who go against the god of darkness.
Mimi felt disgusting goosebumps crawling down her spine. Damn, well, I'm in trouble. Oh no! Mimi looked back as if she expected to see the rest of the members of the order. See Christopher's mocking, teasing gaze. Mimi shook her head. She couldn't afford to get disheartened. She'd get out and find him. Mimi turned to the minion and whispered in a seductive voice, "You're very cute."
I know what you're capable of, and I won't fall for it.
Mimi touched his temple with her lips, and her whisper was heard again. Untie me, freak.
With pleasure.
I just love her. I just love her. Mimi wasn't going to die. She made plans to be happy. Let's go, Mimi. The portal spat Astaroth onto the hot sand. He immediately jumped up, dusting himself off and coughing.
Damn it.
The lifeless desert seemed calm, but the half-breed's instincts told him he was screwed. The sky trembled and shimmered like fabric thrown onto the water. Was he going to sink with it? Space was being torn apart by portals. The entire world was hurling into chaos. The sands hissed and moved.
What?
Astaroth tried to take off, but the desert didn't let him go and sucked him into a vortex. And then something huge came out of the depth. Oh my god.
Motherfucker.
Astaroth fired a blast of energy at it. The worm retreated, shook its head, and rushed towards him with furious enthusiasm.
Damn.
Not my baby! Astaroth directed the energy towards the sand, hoping it wouldn't accidentally graze his legs. He struck it several times, forming small craters, until he freed himself. Astaroth flew into the sky and immediately headed towards the caves. There were just as many creatures in the air. His chest heaved heavily, and his muscles ached from tension and fatigue. Astaroth fell to the ground, dangled his legs over the edge of the cave, and stared at the view stretching out before him. Only ruins were left of the desert city. Hundreds of bodies killed by the desert worm and other creatures were strewn along the sand-flooded streets. Monsters continued to burst out of the portals. Astaroth sighed and cursed under his breath again.
This damn desert was already one of the most dangerous places.
The monster flew past the cave with a heart-rending scream, almost noticing Astaroth. It was going to be almost impossible to get out of there.
Christopher, are you as screwed as I am?
Astaroth wasn't afraid. He was curious how he was going to survive. All he needed was a little breather. Lower level at the catacombs. The lower level of the catacombs, the colder and darker it got. The sounds of scraping and crying echoing in the darkness only made it more terrifying. It was a hopeless world of horror and loneliness. Lucifer immediately realized where he was. Even though he had never been so far from the surface, there was something so oppressive about that place that the location was obvious. If he didn't get out, he'd probably go crazy there. Lucifer opened his hand. It burst into flames, illuminating the area. Oh no. Even he's like, I'm so done with this. The creature reacted to the fire. It seemed to have gotten there by the same ruthless twist of fate as Lucifer. He had to dodge sharply to avoid falling under its claws. Lucifer hit the stone arc they once built passages there but stopped halfway.
See if I can die here. Not after everything.
Lucifer rushed at the creature and grabbed it by the jaw, avoiding its fangs only by sheer dexterity and a miracle. And then he tore the monster's mouth apart. Black blood sprinkled Lucifer's clothes. He wiped his hands on his pants and stepped over the monster. He's like, taste my shoes. He peered into the darkness. Well, there were two options, giving up or continue resisting. Yeah, giving up is not an option. For Lucifer, the choice was obvious. He stepped into the darkness. Hell, the pit. Bottomless abyss. Consuming darkness so profound that it held on relentlessly. Weightlessness, the wind rushing in my ears from the fall, and the ever-increasing howl of creatures waiting for a new neighbor. With a loud wheezing sigh, I opened my eyes and screamed when I realized that I was falling. I tried to slow down my fall by flapping my wings, but the speed was so great that it was pointless. Malbonte took me by my shoulders and pulled me to him. Oh,
don't be afraid.
I pushed him away from me, only to lose my balance and crash into a slimy wall. I was thrown to the side and tumbled in the air. Like rags, my limbs swayed awkwardly from side to side. Malbonte grabbed me again, stopping my spin. I hit him in the face, in the chest, and pushed him away again, although not as strongly as before. Tears streamed down my cheeks. You knew. No, you were counting on it. You wanted to release that monster. No, he didn't. Like, this is something that I can't stand about people in the story in general. They don't try to get behind the reasoning. They condemn people by what they see on the outside without thinking about the inside. Why? Oh, the sad eyes, the sad look. I screamed hysterically, clenching the fabric on his chest tightly in my fist. Why? Malbonte covered my fingers with his.
To kill him.
I closed my eyes, holding back another stream of curses.
It would have taken thousands of years for his dungeon to be destroyed, but I would have gone mad from his whispers much sooner. The only way to get rid of him was to set him free, and freedom was possible only after the death of the mother's body.
I'm so tired, Malbonte. Because of you, we're on the brink of death again.
I was dishonest with you when I proposed. I knew you'd hate me, but I did it anyway. I'm sorry.
Oh, I forgot, y'all. Considering all this drama, I forgot that they are married. I'm so sorry. I forgot they're married. What should I do? Tell me. What? You put the entire world at risk. You see only the end goal and everything else is just an obstacle. You're cruel, cold-blooded, and selfish, and still I love you. I found myself pressed to his chest. What else do you have to do for me to finally hate you? He ran his hand through my hair. This is real love, that's the problem. This is real love. He can do whatever he wants. You won't be capable to hate him.
I won't tempt fate anymore. I'm too afraid of losing you.
Oh, look at this! The sharp impact knocked the air out of her lungs. I groaned, feeling how almost all my bones had been crushed. Malbonte put his hand on me. It was ice cold, but there was heat coming from the center.
I'll help you heal.
It took several hours for our bones to heal over enough for us to be able to move. We looked around, listening to the moans and screams. Our shoulders were touching. I loved that feeling. Maybe that was why I wasn't scared at all. Hundreds of death row prisoners who were left to suffer forever in the pit of Abaddon came pouring out of the darkness. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're alive. You're alive. Help us. Help.
Oh my god. They piled up on us, pulling us in all directions. I couldn't breathe. For a moment, a thought flashed through my mind that we would die there, but Malbonte drew aside a dozen prisoners and released a stream of darkness at them. I saw his hand reach out from the darkness. Malbonte seemed to be part of that all-consuming blackness, but without thinking I extended my hand in response. Although Malbonte was made of darkness, only he could bring me into the light. Only with him did I want to explore the world. I never learned to truly hate him, because I knew that he wasn't only darkness. He helped me see the bright side of things, his prickly gaze and his gentle touch, his cold voice and his hot breath on my neck.
Simona.
Yes? Malbonte spread his wings. Aww.
I love you.
He hugged me and took off. We flew out of the pit. Hatred? No, never. I love you, Malbonte. Wow. Oh my god. Ha ha ha. How's it going, Cifa Malum? How's it going in the darkness? The god of darkness was reclining on the throne that his minions had built for him. The explosion drained him of all his accumulated strength and almost killed him. His withered body was devoid of any muscles. It dissipated from sudden movements and then reluctantly but stubbornly returned to its previous state. Sephamalum extended a trembling hand, resembling the shriveled appendage of a mummy.
Did you find it?
The ears caught the tremulous voice of his follower.
Yes.
An amulet was placed in his palm. What is that?
Find those who survived the battle with the Mother of Life. Kill them and they'll follow us.
The order had been given, and it was going to be carried out. Sephamalum always saw things through. Not with me, sir. Not today. Not today, my good sir. Oh my god. Now showing everything that has been lost and how horrible the situation is. The world as the immortals remembered it was destroyed, but in its place something new was slowly and diligently emerging. Darkness. Absolute darkness. Sir, the scouts sent to gather intel 2 weeks ago have just arrived.
Did they find anything?
For many hundreds of miles, everything's destroyed and under the watchful eye of Sephamalum's minions, except for this Isle of the Buried.
Island of the Buried? Impossible. It's a myth. Nobody has ever found it.
We did. The angel thought for a moment.
Call the order. Found a place for a new academy.
This is such a huge-ass episode, y'all. Oh my gosh, not the flower blooming. What is going on here? What is happening? My goal, my dream? Can I really become a member of the Order? I'm ready to prove that I deserve it. Welcome to a frightening new world. To be continued. Goodbye, bitches. What a huge-ass finale, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know what to say. But the good thing is, we got the happy ending with Malbonte and we are with him. What I didn't like is that we're just with this man, because true happiness is with your entire family, as in with every single person that you love. We lost everyone. The only person that remained with us is our soulmate Malbonte. I think the nicest ending would have been if everyone gets to find themselves again, even after being destroyed, you know? Everyone being brought at another place of another universe, and they all managed to still find each other after being separated into different dimensions, as in a certain sense, they were all meant to be together. But that's just my thoughts. I literally have nothing else to say. This was a nice finale, and I'm sad it's over. I'm not sure if there's gonna be a continuation for this story, as in a Heaven's Secret 3, but I don't know. You all let me know if you heard something about that. But for Heaven's Secret, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this story with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best. And I will see you in another video. Bye.